Baseball is finally here, people. Or I guess you could say it's been here for the past couple days, maybe a week or so, with spring training kicking off. But that means we are just getting closer and closer to opening day in late March. And today, people, I am here to break down the American League and go ahead and preview it for the regular season. I will also do a video for the National League a little later on. So, without further ado, play ball! Let's go! Everybody, Christian Bauer here with Bauer Sports Media, coming at you with a baseball video today as we get spring training kicked off. I'm not even going to get into who's done what so far, but I do have some very copious notes here today looking at each team in the American League today, and then maybe tomorrow or whatever here in a couple days we'll look at the National League. And I guess that'll pretty much be it for baseball previews. And then, you know, we get into maybe some spring training games and we talk more and more about baseball. This is the off season. You guys know that college football is my number one sport. Bama is my number one team. Football in general is just my number one sport. But you guys also know I'm a huge sports fan in general. You guys know I love basketball. We got March Madness around the corner, but I don't want to hold this off much longer. All right, I probably should have done this a few days ago. Spring training's already started, I think. But you know, still, that being said, it's only just begun. So let's go ahead and get into this, people. We're going to be looking at the American League. It's made up just like the National League, both leagues, if you want to put it in football terms, conferences, okay? But this is baseball. They call them leagues. So you got the American League and the National League. Now, it's spring training, so it's a little different. They mix the teams up. You got like the Cactus League and then something else, but you know, that's all meaningless. Spring training is basically like college football has spring games for every team, right? It's basically to see what you're going to get. The wins and losses or ties. You got a tie in spring training last year. I remember I did a stream for I think it was the Rays and the Red Sox. I remember sitting there for 4 hours. It was the first time I actually sat down for a full game, because I'm just going to be real. When I watch a game, I normally would get up here or there, you know, go get something for lunch or whatever, take a small break, right? And it wouldn't feel like it's 4 hours. That took 4 hours. But anyways, you know, that being said, let's just go ahead and get into this. So we're looking at the American League. You have the East, the Central, and the West. The East has the Baltimore Orioles, the Boston Red Sox, New York Yankees, the Toronto Blue Jays, and my team, the World Series runner-up, still hurts, but shout out to the Dodgers, no disrespect, the Tampa Bay Rays. And then you got the Central, the White Sox of Chicago, the Cleveland Indians, Detroit Tigers, Kansas City Royals, the Minnesota Twins. We'll get to them in a minute. Then the West is made up of the Los Angeles Angels, Oakland A's, Seattle Mariners, the Rangers, the Texas Rangers, and the Houston Astros. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's tell you what. I got these in a certain order. I got a paper for each division, but I'll look at it in this order. So we'll look at the East here. Top of the list here, the Tampa Bay Rays. Manager Kevin Cash is going to be entering his 7th season. The Rays finished last year overall regular season 40-20. They were the American League champs. They lost to the Dodgers, of course, within 6 games, no Game 7 of the World Series. I think it ended up being 4-2 or something like that overall. I mean, the Dodgers were just that great. Tampa Bay was great too. It's not like they just got straight owned in every single one of those games. They did win a game or two. I think actually they won Game 1 if I'm not mistaken. But just in the end, ultimately, they couldn't handle it. They couldn't get it done. And obviously, they they need help this year if they want to get back. Can the Rays get back? I hope so as a Tampa Bay fan, but they have some key losses. Michael Wacha, I don't know, a right-handed pitcher, and Chris Archer, a catcher in Francisco Mayhai. This guy's name right here, right-handed pitcher, Luis Patino. I could say that one. I don't know. There's a lot of weird names in baseball. I've noticed that. But that's who they bring in. 4 guys. They bring in 2 right-handed pitchers, a catcher, or 3 right-handed pitchers and a catcher. He's out of here. Blake Snell, left-handed pitcher. They also lose right-handed pitcher Charlie Morton, outfielder Hunter Renfroe, right-handed pitcher Aaron Slegers, first baseman Nate Lowe, left-handed pitcher Ian Lope, left-handed pitcher Jose Alvarado, first baseman Brian O'Grady, right-handed pitcher Chaz Rowe, right-handed pitcher Oliver Drake, left-handed pitcher Sean Gil Martin. So, what do we see here so far, right? They clean house with their pitching, right? Was there anything wrong with their pitching? Well, if I go back and I watch that World Series, what I remember seeing was the Dodgers obviously have great hitters. There were a couple times where the pitchers would walk the Dodgers sometimes. There were some walks. Inconsistency, I think, with the pitching for Tampa Bay. Blake Snell, Charlie Morton. Charlie Morton started out in spring training for us last year, I think. And he started a few games in the regular season. But it mainly, I think, came down to Blake Snell or Charlie Morton. And obviously those 2 guys are gone. This is really going to hurt the Rays, I think. I don't even think it's that close of a debate. This is really going to hurt them. Are they still going to be a good team? I think so, but it's not going to be what it was last year. I really don't like their chances of being first place again, being the AL champions, and making the World Series again. It'd take a miracle, right? And I remind you, they're also playing with teams like the Red Sox, the Yankees, and the Blue Jays. Blue Jays were a playoff team. They've been a playoff team. The American League East is a great division. It's also a division where it's just been up and down. I think the Orioles made the playoffs like last year, a couple years ago. The Red Sox are at least a good franchise overall, historic. Yankees, the same thing, although they're never really bad, at least today in my lifetime. Tampa Bay's in trouble. They really are. I am worried about our chances this year. So they come off their first divisional title and first World Series appearance within a decade plus, right? It's been a while, right? They have made wild cards, but they have yet to win the division, win the AL championship, make the World Series, right? They just had such a historic season for the franchise. And everything they did last year, Kevin Cash and company, great management, great coaching all the way around. It's incredible. So, it wasn't a disappointing season last year. It sucks that they lost the World Series as a fan, and the reason why I pull for the Rays is because I'm in that area. You pull for the local teams, right? And as I'm filming this right now, speaking of the Rays, they are currently 3-0. They are down 3 to the Red Sox in spring training. I don't think it's going to be a great year for them. I really don't. It was great what they did last year. Made the World Series for the first time in 12 years, right? Their second overall appearance, I think. They're 0-2 in the World Series now. They lose so many pitchers. It's up to Tyler Glass now, who's not bad, by the way. He's not. He's one of the best that we had. And I think they made some good calls, letting some guys like, Louis Patino or Michael Wacha, Chris Archer. Let those guys. Well, those guys come in. I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong one here. Hold on. Aaron Lout, Jose Alvarado. Look, there was so much depth. You had to make some cuts. Some of these guys were just never going to play. let alone probably never even play in spring training. What are you doing with these guys on the team, Tampa? You let those guys go. It sucks they let, especially Blake Snell. Blake Snell's the best they had. And he's not a bad pitcher. He's now in San Diego with the Padres. It's up to Tyler Glasnow to step up into a leading role. And Archer and Wacha, who have been all-star pitchers, which is good. All-star is basically like the freaking Pro Bowl, right? It's like the best of the best that are voted on get a chance to go and play with the best. So those are good signings. You get some all-star pitchers out there. We'll just have to see what they do. If they could be consistent, if they could throw strikes and do this or that, that'd be great. You know, they declined a $15 million option on Morton and said, you know what, we're not going to pay him that much. He's out of here. You trade Blake Snell to San Diego. And I mentioned it's up to Glasnow, Wacha, and Archer to step up in the pitching role for Tampa. All right, I ain't got all the time in the world with this, so let's keep moving on here. You got the Yankees. You know, they bring in Jameson Taillon, right-handed pitcher. They bring in six right-handed pitchers. Darren O'Day, Domingo Germain, Adam Warren, Choilis Chassin. I don't know how you say some of these. Baseball players have the weirdest names, I swear. Asher Wojciechowski. I don't know how I got that one. I guess I've heard some analyst on ESPN that has like the same last name and it's spelled the same way, I guess. But anyway, okay, so they bring in a bunch of right-handed pitchers. They lose a lot of pitchers. They lose outfielder Brett Gardner, catcher Eric Kratz, left-handed pitcher James Paxton, left-handed pitcher J.A. Happ, right-handed pitcher Tommy Conley, right-handed pitcher Masahiro Tanaka, Jonathan Holder, right-handed pitcher. They lose those guys. Don't really have much. I'm not sure. Oh, there it is. Okay. So second place in the American League East for the Yankees last year. They get their first workout. Well, all of these teams have had their first workouts already. But they went 33-27 last year. Second place, lost to the Rays in the division series. Okay. They bring in a lot of pitchers, lose a lot of pitchers. Rotation, are these guys going to step up and be better? We'll see what happens, right? Most likely, a lot of the teams I mentioned on here are going to basically bring in or lose a lot of pitchers. That's just how baseball is. That's what you normally lose most, like 90% of the time is going to be you're losing and bringing in a lot of pitchers. So, you got that. Then you got the Baltimore Orioles. 25-35 last year. Not good for the Orioles at all. Fourth place in the division. They bring in Felix Hernandez. Okay, I've heard about him. Great pitcher. Throws a good fastball. Can really, I mean, he can be pretty consistent, I guess, on a day-to-day basis. Shortstop, Freddie Galvis. Right-handed pitcher, Ashton Goido. Outfielder, Chris Shaw. Second baseman, Yolmer Sanchez. Right-handed pitcher, Mac Scaroller. Right-handed pitcher, Tyler Wells. And they lose a couple basemen. Hanser Alberto, shortstop Jose Iglesias, right-handed pitcher Alex Cobb, outfielder Dwight Smith, first baseman Renato. I mean, they lose a lot. I'm not going to really read through every name. We ain't got time for that. But basically, to sum up the East, a lot of guys coming in, a lot of guys leaving. You know, And the Orioles, man, it was incredible. They had 2 straight 100-loss seasons, right? Not good. Not good at all, right? And they made some good progress. Now, I know it was like a 60-game season or whatever, COVID and everything. So take that aside. Don't sit there and say congrats on it. I mean, weird year, shortened season, COVID hit, last-minute panic, so they canceled baseball and everything, right? Let's see. The offseason trades of Cobb and Iglesias, along with the willingness to part with Alberto and Nunez. So they lose basically their key guys in Alex Cobb, Jose Iglesias, Renato Nunez, Hanser, Alberto. They lose all those guys. Those are key guys that are losing. They're going to get hit hard, and it's not going to be pretty for them, folks. So the Orioles, they could finish dead last in the East. They're listed at the top right now, but then again, they sort all this basically in alphabetical order until you start winning games, and then they just put it the correct way. Boston Red Sox. Red Sox. I don't even know where to begin with this. Alex Cora, manager, 3rd season. You know, they were 5th place, dead bottom of the AL East last year. The Red Sox aren't any good right now compared to what they've been. Look, they are a great franchise historically. Right now, they're dead last. I mean, shoot, 24-36. Right now, they bring in a new manager, Alex Cora. Congratulations. Right, so he's on like a 2-year deal as the manager, 3rd season in the MLB. They bring in Enrique Hernandez, the second baseman, Garrett Richards, right-handed pitcher. Now, they got Hunter Renfroe from us at the Tampa Bay Rays. They took our left fielder, Hunter Renfroe. That's a good pickup for you, Boston. I'm going to give you that. He's a really good left fielder, knows where the ball's going to go, can pick it up for you. He's very fast and accurate. Adam Ottavino, Franchi Cordero, and then 3. Well, Adam Ottavino is the right-handed pitcher too. Outfielder Franchi, that guy I just mentioned. Then they got 3 other right-handed pitchers: Matt Andrews, Garrett Whitlock, Josh Winkowski. Okay. That's really it for the Braves, or the Red Sox there. I always get like the Red Sox and the Braves mixed up. I don't know if it's like their colors or what it is, but something about them just seems similar. I don't know. Okay, final team in the AL East, the Blue Jays. 3rd place, wild card, lost to the Rays in the first round. They lose 3 right-handed pitchers: Kirby Yates, Tyler Chatwood, David Phelps. They lose Steven Matz, left-handed pitcher. Bring in, I'm sorry, these are who they're bringing in. People, I do apologize. Kirby Yates, Steve Matz, Tyler Chatwood, David Phelps, George Springer, Marcus Semien, an infielder, George Springer, an outfielder. Those are the guys they're bringing in. Okay, he's out of here. Who's leaving? I'm not going to go through all these names, but Ken Giles, Anthony Bass, as far as right-handed pitchers, Matt Shoemaker, Travis Shaw, Jonathan Villar, to name a couple guys for the infield, a couple other guys as well. They lose a lot of right-handed pitchers. Outfielder Billy McKinley. So, I mean, they're losing quite a bit. But obviously, like it is with any other team, what you lose, you try to sign so you can replace who's going out the door. How are they going to do? I don't know. It'll be interesting. You know, the Blue Jays are a great team. 3rd place last season. So, I mean, they lose quite a bit, but they bring in some great talent, but they lose so much. I think they take a step back, people. I really do. Blue Jays signed free agent Springer. George Springer, we were talking about, the outfielder. to the richest deal in club history. $150 million over 6 years, adding veteran leadership to a youthful, talented team that earned a wild card spot. I mean, that sums it up here. You bring in a guy like him, he's a veteran, he's got experience. The Blue Jays lost a lot, and they bring a lot of young guys in. They got a lot of young, inexperienced talent that's only been there for a year or two. Maybe 3 or 4. It's not enough to say we've been in this league, you know. I feel like they do take a small step back, but I also wouldn't be surprised if Toronto ran the table a little bit, made it further in the playoffs than the wild card. But we'll just have to wait and see what they do. So that was the East. Let's go to now the Central. And we'll try to run through these. I know I'm making this quite a long video for the American League. Minnesota Twins in the Central League. Cleveland Indians almost changed their name. Kansas City Royals. Detroit Tigers. And the Chicago White Sox. Set that there. Let's look at this. Okay. Minnesota Twins, first place in the division last year in the Central League, or Central Division of the American League. 36-24, pretty good record. They lost to the Astros in the first round of the playoffs, though, so tough loss for them. Can they go further? Well, let's see who they bring in. Shortstop, Adrielton Simmons. Right-handed pitcher, Alex Colome. Left-handed pitcher, J.A. Happ. Right-handed pitcher, Hansel Robles. Right-handed pitcher, Sean Anderson. Right-handed pitcher, Ian Hamilton. Outfielder, Keon Broxton. Left-handed pitcher, Andrew Albers. That's who's in. Who's out? Left fielder, Eddie Rosario. Right-handed pitcher, Sergio Romo. Right-handed pitcher, Trevor May. Right-handed pitcher, Jake Odorsey. Infield / outfielder, you play him anywhere. I guess he's kind of pretty good rotational, but he's out. Marwin Gonzalez, left-handed pitcher, Rich Hill. Tyler Clippard, also right-handed pitcher. I said that previous guy was left-handed. I do apologize. But then you got another right-handed pitcher you lose in Matt Weisler. Catcher, Alex Avila, and infielder, Ihar Adrianza. They really don't. I mean, what they lose, they pretty much replace. And this is saying here, and I would probably agree with this. They return largely the same team that won the last 2 AL Central titles. They've won 2 straight in the Central League. They've had some teams kind of right behind them. The Indians, the Royals, keep your eye on the White Sox. I would expect maybe the Twins to maybe take a small step back. I really don't know. I really don't know what to make of this. They'll just be an interesting team to keep your eye on. I don't think they fall off completely, but I think they take a small step back. Do they still win the Central? They could. I don't know, but they're not in a position where they can say we're better and we're good enough now to go make a World Series run. I don't think they're right there. Next team, you look at the Cleveland Indians. He's here. Outfielder, Eddie Rosario. We were just talking about that. So he basically leaves the Twins, goes to the Indians. So he stays in the Central Division. The Indians were second place, 35-25. Lost to the Yankees in the first round of the playoffs. Okay. Eddie Rosario comes in. Andres Jimenez. So that's another guy. I think that, let me see. Or that was the guy, I guess, from the East. One of these teams here we were just looking at. Let's see. have it in here somewhere. I guess not. I thought I was just reading that name on here or whatever. I don't know. Maybe it was a different name. But yeah, the Indians bring in Andres Gimenez, Ahmed Rosario, Brian Shaw. They lose Francisco Lindor, Carlos Carrasco, Carlos Santana, Brad Hand, and then it doesn't say who this outfielder is. Oh, Tyler Naquin, Oliver Perez, Adam Kimber, and Delino DeShields Jr. Okay, here we go. We're on track. Basically, this is talking about the departure of that Lindor, Francisco Lindor. I've heard a little bit about him. He basically held Cleveland together. He held the Indians together. He made the team what it was. A great hitter, first off. He's one of the best they've ever had, really, in franchise history. He's a great shortstop. Shane Bieber, Cy Young Award winner, leading the pitching staff. It says it's one of the best in the AL, which is true. They've had some great pitchers and great pitching game, right? Like, look, the Indians have been there, right? They're another team that's been there. They lose Lindor, it's going to suck. Not completely. I mean, it just really means that the staff is just going to have to step up now. I think they take a step back. I don't know. But moving on to the White Sox. Third place, wild card, lost to Oakland. They bring in a new manager, Tony La Russa. Right-hand pitcher, Liam Hendricks. Right-handed pitcher, Lance Lynn. Outfielder, Adam Eaton. And Jonathan LaCroix, a catcher. They lose their manager, Rick Renteria. They got rid of Edward Encarnacion, designated hitter. James McCann, Alex Colome, Yolmer Sanchez, Gio Gonzalez, Jared Dyson, Dane Dunning, Nomar Mazara, all those are pitchers. Or I'm sorry, Yolmer is a second baseman and Jared is a center fielder. White Sox did make the playoffs last year for the first time since 2008, which is pretty good for them. But losing they're under new management. Who knows what it's going to look like? Really don't know what to make of it. I'm not one to sit here with baseball and talk about managers or whatever. You know, I'm just going to be real. I look at this stuff and I say, did they lose a lot? Did they bring in a lot? And I kind of just make a guess or whatever and say, you know what? You know, it's more than what they had last year. If they got some depth, they could work with it. And, you know, maybe that helps. So, that's for the Central League there. And now on to the final one. Sorry this video is so long, guys. The West, the Oakland A's. Don't they have Kyler Murray? Or he was at least drafted by the Oakland A's. He ain't on the roster. He's sticking a football, I guess. First place in the West, 36-44. They lost in the divisional series to Houston, though. They bring in Elvis Andrus, shortstop. Left-handed pitcher Cole Irvin. Left-handed pitcher Nick Turley. Infielder Jed Lowry. They lose Marcus Semien, Liam Hendricks. We just mentioned those guys. Not really leaving their... I mean, not leaving the AL at least, but going over to the Central League. Tommy La Stella, the second baseman, Tommy La Stella, outfielder Robbie Grossman, right-handed pitcher Yusmeiro Petit, right-handed pitcher Joakim Soria, left-handed pitcher TJ McFarland, third baseman Jake Lamb, left-handed pitcher Mike Minor. That's who's out of there. Won their first division title in 7 years. Lose a lot. I mean, they basically had what they had last year, and that was it. They're losing too much. They're going to take a step back. There's a lot of teams that are taking a step back. The Oakland A's are just one of them. I mean, it'll be interesting to see. I really think it's going to come down to either Houston or LA for the West. The Astros, second place, lost in the AL Championship Series to the Tampa Bay Rays. Y'all had that coming. They bring in Jason Castro, Pedro Baez, Castro's a catcher, right-handed pitchers, and Steve Cishek, Ryan Stanek, Pedro Baez, an outfielder. They bring in Steven Souza Jr., George Springer, Josh Reddick, Robert Ozuna, Cy Sneed, Sionel Perez, to name a few guys that they are losing. Unless they get their trash cans together, Houston's not winning the division or making the World Series or anything. This is they lose so much. They bring in quite a bit though too, but I feel like they take a step back. I mean, they're losing so much. It's crazy. So we'll see what they do. And then let's see. Fourth place, the Los Angeles Angels. Bringing a new GM, Perry Menasian. Outfielder, Dexter Fowler. Shortstop, we mentioned Jose Iglesias. Right-handed pitcher, Raisel Iglesias. Not sure if they're related. They bring in Alex Cobb, Jose Quintana, both pitchers. Catcher, Kurt Suzuki. Left-handed pitcher, Alex Claudio. Right-handed pitcher, Aaron Slagers. Outfielder, Juan Lagares. Infield/outfielder, Phil Gosselin. They lose their GM, Billy Epler. And Dredelton Simmons, the shortstop. Hansel Robles. They lose right-handed pitchers all the way around. I mean, there's really no other way to put that. They think they got talent, and I think they do too. 5 straight losing seasons for them. I don't know how you define a losing season, but the Angels haven't even been any good, right? They haven't had any trouble like that since, say, in the 70s or 80s. You know, 6 consecutive years without making the playoffs. This could be it for Mike Trout. Let's not forget Mike Trout. He is one of the youngest guys in this league. He's one of the best. He's one of the best. But the talent around him is embarrassing. I feel bad for Mike Trout. But he's still there. But you look at this, we were just talking about every other team in this division in the West is losing so much. They're losing so much. This could be it for Mike Trout. I'm pulling for the Angels this year. I'm pulling for Mike Trout. I love Mike Trout. He's just a great player. He deserves better than what the Angels have. And with all the other teams taking such a hard hit, we mentioned the Rangers, the Oakland A's, the Mariners are really going to suck. The Astros are the Astros. They'll be good. I think that's the only team even in the West that can compete with LA anyway. But this could be it. This could be your time, Mike Trout. Just tell your boys to get it together, you know, with help of, I mean, you need guys throwing some strikes, not just walking guys every play. Iglesias comes in, Quintana, Alex Cobb, right? They bring in they're going to have a good pitching rotation. And then the Mariners, I guess, to finish up, folks. 3rd place last year in the West. Rafael Montero, right-handed pitcher, he's here. Right-handed pitcher, Chris Flexen. Right-handed pitcher, Keenan Middleton. Great player. Right-handed pitcher, Logan Gilbert. Right? And, of course, we mentioned some guys. You know, Tim Lopes, Malik Smith, Carl Edwards Jr., they lose. They're rebuilding. And they're going to take a good step forward in trying to get back to being a playoff team, being something huge in the MLB. This year, I think, you know, it'll be something. You know. But we're going to find, I mean, they have so much young talent, right? And 2020 was short. So there really wasn't a whole lot of time. There wasn't a lot for them to look at their young talent that they have. It's not like they got veterans. They got rookies, straight rookies on this team. And they're trying to figure out, is this it? Right? They're not going to contend in 2021. But if they could do something this year and then build off of it, 2022, 2023 rolls around, they could be in good hands. So, I don't know. It'll be interesting, people. I'm going to go ahead and end it here. I know this is like a 40-minute video. It took me a while with this. I mean, but I appreciate everyone sticking around, watching this video. I love baseball. It'll be interesting to see, and I really wanted to, you know, for all you baseball fans out there, I want to do this. I'll do one for the National League. It might be as long, it might not. But I think my Tampa Bay Rays are going to take a step back. The West is going to be down in the American League, and this is it for Mike Trout. Basically, trying to sum all this up here, the Rays take a step back. It might be, you know, the Yankees or the Orioles stepping in. In the West, this is it for Mike Trout. Now's your chance. You got the only team that's going to stop you is the Astros, right? If you can handle them or get past them or something, I mean, the Rangers, the Oakland A's, the Mariners, I mean, they're going to take some steps back. This could be it. Mike Trout could finally get a playoff win, make the playoffs. I mean, Mike Trout, he's been in the league a while. And we talk so much about him. So, anyway, baseball fans, comment down below or whatever. Let me know what you think about this year in the American League. Who do you have winning each division? Who is your baseball team? Whether it's the American League or not, let me know who your team is. Let me know what you think they're going to do this year. Let me know if you agree with me on some of the stuff that I said. And stay tuned maybe here in a couple days for my National League preview video. So, thanks so much for watching. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. If you're new, please like and subscribe right here to Baller Sports Media for more sports content. Love you guys. Have an awesome day. Jesus loves you. Remember that. And from a Bama fan here, Roll Tide Roll. Great to have baseball back. Have a good day, and we'll see you later.